So over on Twitter, Treyarch have just posted a message to us. As we get closer and closer to the holidays, the end of this year, 2022 is very close now. Will it be any better than this year? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But over on Twitter, Treyarch have just said this. As we look ahead to 2022, we felt that it was important to share a few thoughts. Our goal as a studio is to make awesome games for the world to enjoy. Having the privilege to pursue that endeavour is made possible because of Treyarch's people. We are a studio comprised of smart, talented, world-class creative professionals who seek to perform at our best. Our culture has no room for sexism, harassment, racism, bigotry, discrimination, or bullying. As we move forward, providing a safe, diverse, inclusive work environment so that all may thrive will be our highest priority. Everyone at Treyarch is drawn to game development because we process a deep love for the artistry of video games and the magic that can create moments that matter. This is a moment that matters, and it all starts by being better. Treyarch. So a nice message from Treyarch over on Twitter. I think there are a few things they're hinting at here. Obviously, one, the big thing being the Activision lawsuit and all of the controversy that's going on surrounding them right now. And of course, not only Activision, there's also been stuff that's come out to do with Treyarch, Sledgehammer, Raven, other things surrounding Activision Blizzard. So this message kind of talks a little bit about that. And I would say this is really the first time a developer working under Activision has really said anything about this situation. I mean, there have been tweets here and there. I think when I first saw this title, I thought they were going to address Call of Duty Vanguard, which you could say the end of this message, where they mention everyone at Treyarch is drawn to game development because we possess a deep love for the artistry of video games and the magic that can create moments that matter. This is the moment that matters, and it all starts by being better. It's very clear because video game developers are on Twitter. Treyarch themselves, the people working there, will know of the situation of what the community think about Vanguard zombies. They're not blind to it. So could there be better things to come in 2022 regarding that? But obviously the main message of this post is surrounding everything that's gone on to do with Activision and the people under them. And that doesn't exclude Treyarch, because just taking one example from what we were told by Charlie Intel a month ago, they tweeted, "Breaking. Dan Bunting, Treyarch's co-studio head, is no longer at Treyarch per the Wall Street Journal." In their new report, it states there was an harassment allegation against Dan Bunting in 2017. Investigation recommended he be fired for it in 2019. Bobby Kotick intervened and kept him then. Dan Bunting, if you don't know, was the co-head of Treyarch. According to this, he was accused by a female employee of sexually harassing her in 2017 after a night of drinking. Activision's Human Resource Department and other supervisors launched an internal investigation in 2019 and recommended that he be fired. But Mr. Kotick, who we know is the CEO of Activision, he intervened and kept Dan there. If you've been playing COD for a long time, especially the Black Ops games, you probably would have heard of Dan Bunting before. He was the person who led Treyarch through the production of several successful COD games. Apparently, after these allegations, he was given counselling and allowed to remain at the company. Mr. Bunting did respond to requests for comment. An Activision spokeswoman said an outside investigation was conducted in 2020. After considering potential actions in light of that investigation, the company elected not to terminate Mr. Bunting, but instead to impose other disciplinary measures. She said that Mr. Bunting left the company after the Journal asked about the incident. So Dan Bunting has now left Treyarch, but as you can see, this is just one example. There are others for Raven and Sledgehammer. Stuff like this doesn't just happen at Activision, it's also going on at Treyarch as well. And so going back to their message, well, as you can see, they've turned off replies. Only people mentioned by Treyarch can reply to this. Unfortunately, they didn't turn off quote tweets. So I was interested to see what people thought about this. I thought it was a nice message, but I wanted to see what other people's opinions was. This person said, "Can't create moments that matter because no one is playing your game. Good luck though." Someone else said, "I thought this was going to be an apology for the state that Vanguard Zombies is in, but I guess not. Can't really get on your high horse and claim all of this stuff when your publisher is Activision." I mean, just scrolling down, Can't Be For Nothing says, "Always Treyarch. Can't make the game they want because Activision gives them 6 months to make it and forces them to put in microtransactions even to clean your ass." Not the replies I was expecting. Another one reads, "You know that their studios are still messed up when they have to limit the comments on the tweet addressing the issue." And that's what I've seen a lot of people say on a situation like this. It's not the best look to not allow people to comment. I'm guessing they've done this for a few reasons. One being, well, they were involved in this. The other one being Activision is their publisher, so they probably don't want people bad-mouthing them in the comments of their tweets. Maybe Treyarch just didn't want people harassing them in their replies. This is also very PR heavy, a very thought-out message instead of something that's, I don't want to say heartfelt, but you can tell by the way it's worded, it's very heavily PR. It's something you see a lot of companies do after something bad's happened that perhaps wasn't their intention. But yeah, when you don't allow people to comment on situations like this, it's not always the best look. Perhaps you could say maybe the better thing would have been to either let people comment or just don't put out a post like this at all. Anyway, carrying on looking at the quoted tweets, someone's asking for the Mason skin. There's another person talking about the limited comments. Mr. Ray says, I mean, that's cool and all, but we need to see you actually take action. Sodapop says, employers who haven't fucked up don't need to make statements like this. Caleb says, they never learn, man. All that will happen is this will end up biting them in the ass because this culture ends up eating its own. Probably not the replies you were expecting, however, this person does say, good, now fix zombies thanks, and ban cheaters in Black Ops 3. Yeah, we could just keep going further and further down. There are hundreds of quoted tweets. Daniels is a little bit different to what most people have been saying when he says, finally, reason. Old Man Games says, abandon and discontinue Vanguard zombies at this point. It's too bare bones to be enjoyed even after a year's work of content. This year of content is going to hurt the zombies experience when the new Black Ops comes out. As a studio, you should have your own voice in the company. I mean, that to do with their next game is a different subject. JetBlaze's tweet follows the same line as a lot of other people, where he says, turning off replies is straight coward shit. Dev from Trash Parent Company that has enabled women employees to be abused for almost 2 decades. The time to make this stance passed ages ago. Which you could also make the point for. This has been going on for a long time now. Months and months we've had stuff coming out about Activision, different developers. So you can see what this person is saying when he talks about how something like this should have been put out months ago. Why only now at the end of the year? Treyarch could have tweeted this out a long time ago when we all first heard about what was going on. Why only now at the end of the year? And yeah, obviously there are so many more. I'm not going to go through all of them, just a couple more though. Disabling comments shows you really listen to your community here. Make a better zombies mode then. The first sentence itself was some bullshit. The official Devon's reply is a little bit different. He says best game designers in the video game industry. Yeah, you get the point. The replies aren't what I expected, but at the same time when you turn off replies it kind of is. Yeah, obviously it's a lot of frustration for this situation. Also, judging by the comments, Treyarch's past couple of games as well, Cold War, this one especially, Vanguard, they have their name, unfortunately, on the zombies mode. But as Treyarch's initial message said, hopefully we can look forward to whatever comes in 2022 regarding Activision, the changes they're in at these development studios, and also for the products they are releasing as well that we are paying full price for. So there we go, and Activision are trying to change, or at least that's what they said. They've put out multiple tweets, statements, articles, interviews, telling us about stuff they're doing, the changes they're making. From this tweet you can see Charlie Intel put out the other day, they said, Activision Blizzard's Chief Operating Officer, Daniel Allegri, sent out the following email to all employees today on the company's progress on their workplace initiatives. The email was shared by Activision Blizzard on their site. I'm not going to read all of this because there's a lot. If you want to, you can see it up on screen now, but you can just see some of the key areas they are focusing on as they begin in 2022. They said, hire or put in place additional DE and I leaders, tie yearly diversity goals to respective ABK and division executive leadership performance goals, invest in learning and development curriculum, stand-up manager and executive mentorship and sponsorship programs aimed at unlocking upward mobility for UEGs and women, and continue evolving our talent and recruitment system. I mean, we've seen this all before, we'll just have to see where it goes. But there we go, this might be my last video before Christmas, depending on, well, if anything new comes out. I have a couple pre-recorded, so this might actually be the last one I record before the 25th. If it is, I do want to say, first I had a lisp, and also, I hope everyone has a good time, and tell me, come back to this video or one of the newer ones when Christmas Day is here. Let me know in the comments what you've had or what you've done. But yeah, hopefully you all have a good holidays. Thank you so much for watching the videos over the past year. I mean, it's not quite over yet. Drop a like rating if you've enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and as always, we'll see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.